7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Mahomes on third. He sets to fire deep. And this is caught at the 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. One thing that we know for sure, do not question the arm strength of Patrick Mahomes, one of the strongest around. Butker now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. And the Chiefs are going to have it here just past the 25. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over. And their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Mahomes now on the option right. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Mahomes now to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, baseball folks, Charles, they like to talk about the 3 true outcomes, a strikeout, a walk, or a home run. But for this quarterback, it's been the 2 true outcomes here. He's got 4 touchdown passes, but now a 3rd interception.
And it pains you to think that you have to try and tell him to rein it in. But at the same time, you can't just chuck it up there and hope for the best. And old-school football coaches will tell you there's 3 true outcomes throwing the ball, and 2 of them are bad.
On 2nd and very short, Wilson. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Wilson. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Cortland Sutton, his second touchdown of the night. And the Broncos take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
Baron Browning charges in there hard and drops him for a loss of 12 from that outside linebacker position. Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
The pass complete on the crossing route. This is Tony with it.
It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's the Chiefs punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
And returning it, here's Hamler.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
That's caught inside the 20. A huge play there for Denver. 54 yards. Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation.
Williams will take it in. Touchdown, Denver. Well, we have seen the stiff arm get a bit of renaissance here in recent seasons, and that was pure strength there as he forced his way into the end zone.
And when you think of guys who use the stiff arm so effectively, I go back to guys like Earl Campbell, Walter Payton, some recent guys like Marshawn Lynch. Let's go to the Wayback Machine. Bronco Nagurski, he dealt out a wicked stiff arm.
And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. This game has really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim 1-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He's going to sling this deep downfield. He's got a man, complete.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring him down in the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll try and run for it. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And can they take advantage? Their defense got the 4th down stop, but now they're hoping to find the end zone. A field goal wouldn't be enough to erase this 4th quarter deficit. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
Throwing is Wilson. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Caught by Dulcich.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Short gain, last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense are saying go right ahead with those. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Williams.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
Throwing now is Wilson. And smartly going into the slide there. Wilson has enough for the first. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. There's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by David Long, and the Chiefs have just about sewn up this football game.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, with the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter.
This one taken just inside the 10.
And he's going to go out of bounds on the return. He won't even get this thing back to the 10-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win. You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game. A critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Mahomes. That's going to be caught by Tony. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
Mahomes.
Can't get away, and down he goes. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
A couple of veterans, Wilson to Sutton there for the Bronco first.
Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. That's taken in by Dulcich. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On 1st down, Wilson. He'll take a shot for the end zone.
Oh, and it's intercepted.
And the Chiefs are going to have it with a chance to win the game here in overtime. He had the interception woes in regulation, and now they carry over into overtime. And on the other side, CD, all they need is a field goal to win it.
I'm glad you pointed that out, Brandon, because he has not been sharp all game long. He's been rather loose with some of his passes, and this one might cost him a ball game.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. One team squandered opportunity. It's another team's chance to win this thing. They forced that clutch turnover, and now all they need is a field goal here to win this ball game.
Could not be set up much better, could they? A takeaway on defense. Now it's up to that offense to find a way to put themselves in position for the game-winning points. Touchdown, field goal, they don't care. Just find a way to win it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Right back to him on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
43!
What can Mahomes do now with his overtime drive? And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Mahomes.
Oh, and it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring, and it still comes down to one possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for Denver, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Raiders will come to town. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints.